Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin has stirred a fresh controversy with remarks comparing the film industries in North and South India. Speaking at a literature festival in Kozhikode on Saturday, Udhayanidhi claimed that aside from Bollywood, no northern state has a film industry as vibrant as those in the south. He said the booming Tamil film industry now generating billions in revenue alongside thriving industries in Kerala, Telugu and Kannada cinema. Udhayanidhi asked, does any language in North India have an industry as vibrant as ours? The answer is a big no, adding that Bollywood has largely overshadowed smaller northern film industries. He also said that many northern states don't even have their own film industry. Reflecting on the 1950s, Udhayanidhi noted that Tamil cinema was once heavily Sanskritized and accessible mainly to upper caste affluent audiences. He credited the Dravidian movement with making cinema which was more inclusive, allowing people from diverse backgrounds to enjoy films. Now, Tamil Nadu BJP Vice President Thirupathy reacted to Udhayanidhi's statements, calling him a failed actor and a failed film personality. Let me now go across to Gautam Chintamani, who is an author, writer and film historian, to speak about this. Gautam, hi, welcome to the broadcast. Let me take his statements point by point. Number one, he says that the South Indian film industry is extremely vibrant. I think Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin does not know history. There was a time when it was called Madras Presidency. So whether it was Telugu cinema, Kannada cinema or Kerala cinema, everything was concentrated in Chennai. You still have Prasad Labs in Chennai. You had color correction in Chennai. The big studios, whether it was, Vijaya Vahini or AVM, they were all in Chennai. So first of all, to say, and now look at Andhra, look at Karnataka and Kerala, superb. So first to say that they are the most vibrant, they had a first mover advantage in history, so to speak. Would you agree?
Namaskar, Sudha. I think that you've really summed it up very well. What Mr. Stalin has said does not make a lot of sense. I think the second part of his argument, which is more politically driven, and let's not forget, at the end of the day, he's a politician. So the statement that in the 50s, Tamil cinema used to be very Sanskritized, and the cultural revolution or war, what he would like to believe, transformed that and made sure that films were accessible to all and sundry, is a more loaded statement than the fact that no other industry in the north is thriving. There have been industries in the north, or at least north of Tamil Nadu, as he would like to say, which have gone through different phases. So once upon a time, the Bengal film industry or the Bengali industry was bustling with activity and thriving. There was Indian industry was partially divided between Lahore and Calcutta. So if we go into history, we see a lot of other things. But I think what essentially he's trying to stoke here is just his political fire by saying that the Dravidian movement, the claim to which his party takes, is responsible for transforming art in a more approachable manner. I think that's completely wrong, because no matter which language you're watching a film in, the art form was transformed to the simplest base formula so that anybody and everybody could see it. That's true for cinema all across the world.
Yeah.
And that's essentially true for propaganda cinema. To a great extent, what Mr. Stalin is saying is that their propaganda might not be as powerful as it used to be once upon a time.
Yeah, he's also taken, Marathi films into the ambit. And like I said, Mr. Stalin does not know cinema the way one is supposed to know before one makes a comment. Also, he forgets that one of the first eminent directors in Tamil cinema was not a Tamil, he was an American called Ellis Duncan. We all know it because we study cinema, which Mr. Stalin can only do politics and keep talking about Tamil nationality. I'm going to come back to you, Gautam. Before that, let's listen into what Thirupathy of the BJP had to say on what Udhayanidhi said.
Udhayanidhi Stalin is a failed actor, a failed film personality, and that is the reason he doesn't know. His immaturity, his inexperience speaks like that. I challenge Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin to ask his own people, the Red Giant movies and also the Sun Pictures, not to take Hindi version of Tamil films. Can he do that? throughout India is unaware that the Marathi film industry, Odia film industry, Bengali film industry, Gujarati film industry, Assamese film industry, all have been growing in their turnover by more than 20 or 25%, whereas the Tamil film industry is decreasing. He should understand this, he should know this. He will become a failed politician like a failed actor, a failed film personality.
His statement on Sanatan Dharma and comparing it to be a disease is very distasteful. It hurt crores of people. It created a furor. Now he comes up targeting Bollywood in the similar manner. So one wonders, why is he doing it? Is this how he thinks? Or is this a strategy for him to create these statements and come into the media? And one notes he does this even after holding office and he has taken the oath of the Constitution.
Also, Gautam, this, kind of Tamil nationalism he talks about. First of all, cinema breaks all barriers. I mean, you can see a Vaida Rahman in a Satyajit Ray film. We've all, Abhijan, we've seen that, right? Now, the thing is, if he, as the Deputy Chief Minister and also the head of Red Giant Films, feels so particular about Tamil, then why is it that a lot of Hindi actors work there? I mean, I can talk about Khushbu Sundar, one of the most successful. Of course, even Mr. Rajnikant, not originally Tamil. Even M.G. Ramachandran, not originally Tamil. And also you have a lot of Tamanna Bhatia works in that industry. You have, Kajal Agarwal. Also, the other argument, Gautam. Why did Kamala Hassan go and do Sagar, Ek Duje Ke Liye, Raj Tilak, Sanam Teri Kasam? And why did Rajnikant go and do a whole lot of, Andha Kanun and all those films there? Look at Sridevi. She made a transition and like how? I mean, after Padanare Vaidinile, she goes and does a dubbed Solma Savan. And then after that, she just bursts into the horizon. So I don't understand what Udhayanidhi Stalin is trying to prove. Is it, see, I'm okay if you're trying to prove something because you are a politician. There is no logic to your statements. But he's also from a film family. His grandfather wrote Parasakti. Don't you think what he says makes absolutely no sense, Gautam Chintamani?
No, not only that, Sudha, it's also very, very concerning to see that a leader, a political leader, consistently chooses to create this kind of artificial divide. I mean, every time he makes a statement, it seems to be divisive as opposed to joining people. Not only the examples that you mentioned, but just if you look at the last 12 months, the biggest successes of Indian cinema have been films like RRR, Pathan, KGF. These films have made waves across the world. So instead of celebrating the fact that there has been such a cultural bond, not just today, but the examples that you've given and even before that, the idea to consistently keep on saying that there is a divide, us and them, that is nothing more than just cheap political theatrics, if I can use that term. I think the fact that artists such as Sridevi and the examples that you gave of Wahida ji in Mr. Ray's film, these are examples of how India loves films. And irrespective of the language, I mean, today, one of the most vibrant cinema is coming out of Marathi cinema. And the fact that it may not have as big a market as RRR, but then you have to look at the other end of the spectrum also. The fact that there are so many films which are pushing the envelope when it comes to talking about the India of today or bringing people together. The examples are numerous. So I think this is just a cheap political theatrics, I mean, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you very much. Gautam Chintamani there, film historian and expert, speaking about what Udhayanidhi Stalin said. Films break all kinds of barriers and work across our nation. That is the beauty of Indian cinema, not Tamil or Punjabi cinema. And guess what? Let's take you through what else did Udhayanidhi say. He also compared the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test or NEET to the Sanskrit language, claiming both have historically disadvantaged students from backward, rural and underprivileged backgrounds. Udhayanidhi spoke at an arts and literature festival organized by the Manorama Daily Group in Kozhikode, where he drew parallels to the 1920s when Sanskrit knowledge was a prerequisite for medical education, excluding marginalized students. Stalin highlighted Tamil Nadu's long-standing Dravidian movement, which emphasizes Tamil pride and opposes Hindi imposition and called on regional political parties, excluding the Bharatiya Janata Party, to support the DMK's two-language policy for preserving Tamil Nadu's cultural heritage. Additionally, he criticized the state governors for using Tamilagam instead of Tamil Nadu and accused the BJP of promoting a uniform cultural and religious agenda. The Deputy Chief Minister argued that Tamil Nadu and Kerala's progressive politics have successfully resisted fascist and communal forces, strengthening the Tamil people's pride in their language and culture.